Another matchup in North Carolina, Clemson staying in the ACC at Wake Forest. Haslam projects this one, Demon Deacs -3, total of 149. My numbers actually make this closer to Wake Forest -1.5, but another situational spot where Demon Deacons are coming off of 3 straight losses. Maybe their NCAA tournament hopes are already dead, but if they want any shot of creeping back in the picture, you have to win this game. Clemson with a lot on the line, too, going for a double bye in the ACC tournament. They clinched that with a win over Wake Forest. What do you make of this one, Derek?
Yeah, you kind of hit it with the motivational spot for Wake. They are firmly on the bubble. Haslam, he has them as one of the last 4 out right now after that Georgia Tech loss. But then you look at Joe Lenardi's bracketology stuff, and he's got them as the last 4 in. I tend to side with Haslam on this after that loss. They lost 3 in a row. It's kind of embarrassing. So they need this win badly if they want to get in, though. From a, matchup perspective, it's kind of a clash of styles, right? Clemson, they kind of want to space you out, whereas Wake, they want to post you up with Efton Reed down low. And that's kind of a matchup nightmare for Clemson in a sense, because they rank 351st in the country in post-up defense, according to shot quality. Asking them to play defense in the low post for 40 minutes against a team like Wake, who's top 20 in post-up frequency, that's tough, But then on the flip side, it's a tough matchup for Wake Forest too, because PJ Hall can space them out really well. And with Hall, spacing Wake Forest out, it allows Clemson to get really good looks at the rim, right? Over the last 4 games, they have a field goal percentage of 71.6 at the rim, which ranks in the 99th percentile for CBB analytics. And, this is a particular spot for Wake in their last 5 games where they haven't been good at. They've allowed 71.7% field goal percentage at the rim, which ranks in the 0 percentile per CBB analytics. So really, really bad defending the rim right now, Wake Forest is. So I don't think I'm going to have a bet in this one. If the line opens somewhere around 3, I might take Clemson. But like you said, it's tough. So I'll have to see what the number opens at.
Yeah, going back to that loss for Wake Forest on Tuesday night, it's so hard to read this team. To your point, undefeated at home before that loss to Georgia Tech. Last week, losing at Notre Dame, at Virginia Tech, but you expected them to bounce back against the Yellow Jackets, and midway through the first half, they're down 19 points. I know they only lost by a single digit, but you would expect a better effort in this game. Clemson should be able to space out Efton Reed with PJ Hall, especially if he's shooting like he did against Syracuse on Tuesday. Granted, that was senior night, Tigers covering and winning by double digits. But when Clemson is on from 3 and the way they could space you out with Ian Shefflin and PJ Hall, very tough to match up against a Wake Forest team that you can space out because Reed isn't the most agile big at the 5. One thing I want to mention with Clemson's defense, I know you said they're a bit vulnerable in the paint, and I do think that's somewhat of a product of Gerard and Chase Hunter maybe being more so exploitable when it comes to guard play, not the most elite defensive guards defending off the dribble. But I'll say it again. When Clemson has Jack Clark in the lineup, keep in mind he was sick when Clemson lost that game at Notre Dame last Saturday. 10-1 straight up this season. And just to dig a little deeper in the analytics, Clemson allowing nearly 6 points per 100 possessions fewer with Clark on the court this season. And that has a lot to do with their ability with Clark on the court to switch 1 through 5. And I would expect him to be shadowing Hunter Salas throughout this matchup. 6'8", 6'9", even, it depends on whether you're reading Clemson's athletic website or not, but some are even saying 6'10". So that's a lot of length to throw at Hunter Salas. Wake Forest, clearly their best offensive threat from behind the arc or attacking the rim. So I'm with you, man. Just, you would expect the market to come heavy on Wake Forest here. And this isn't like it's any sort of maybe a letdown off a senior night for Clemson, but this game means a lot for the chance to get a double bye in the ACC tournament.
Yeah, it does. That's the other angle to this is that double bye is really important if you're, looking to make some noise in the ACC tournament. So, there's two motivational spots that are kind of colliding here, and I am gonna look for Clemson, but it really depends on the number that we get it open. Hopefully, they bake this spot into the Wake Forest side, and we can get a decent number on Clemson.